Hello, everybody. Welcome. In today's video, we're going to talk about attachment in the energetics of business. So many of you, I'm sure, that follow me because I love to mix the woo and the do as it relates to business. So, of course, the law of attraction and manifestation and all of those things are not new concepts to you. However, they can be so elusive when it comes to our business. So I'm going to really break that down for you. And this whole notion of people saying, just remain unattached. Or the one that I like so much is just follow your bliss and all will be okay. And like, how do we actually take those very spiritual concepts that are actually quite true, but really, how can we apply that to our business? So we're going to talk about that today in the video. And thank you all for watching. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jana Nixa, the Authentic Sales Coach, and I work with coaches, consultants, healers, service-based entrepreneurs, and I help you create a high-ticket offer that sells and then help you map out a very authentic, loving, and very impactful and effective sales process so that you can start getting high-ticket clients consistently, or as I like to say, on repeat. So, with that, let's really break this whole law of attraction manifestation and how to apply it to our business. Because, I'm sure, like many of you, I've been studying the law of attraction, honestly, since The Secret came out way back when, where it was like, oh, just think positive thoughts and, your whole world will change. And so I've really noticed this evolution of it over time, right? From think nice things to just be positive, now talking about integration and embodiment and identity and timelines, and all that entails. And I'll tell you what, when I came into this space, I had all this sales experience as a top performing sales executive, doing it in an entirely different way than I've seen it done before, knowing that there's so many people that need what I had to offer. And I'm not saying any of this to brag, but hear me out. And having so much mindset work and energetics work and law of attraction work and Joe Dispenza and all of the things, I was like, I can't lose. And then, things didn't quite go my way right off the bat. And the doubt creeped in. And why isn't this stuff working for me? I'm visualizing every day crept in, and just so much, frankly, frustration crept in because all these tools that had worked for me in other ways didn't seem to work for me in business. It was like I could not find how to apply these things and have them actually work for me. And so that's really what I want to break down for you guys, because I made some simple shifts that have really made all the difference in my business. In 2024, I know for a lot of people, it was a rough year. For me, it was my best year. I grew exponentially. And I want that for you too. And I really do believe the things that I'm going to be talking about in this video are what helped me go from a client here, a client there, to 100K launches and beyond. And so, first things first, the issue is, if you're thinking, let me do my manifestation practice and do the law of attraction thing and sit in my vibration, and then you go out and experience your daily life and you take on the meanings of not having clients and take on the lack of a bill coming in, and you take on, and essentially you let your reality dictate your inner state, you are blocking that manifestation. So like Joe Dispenza even says, you have to think bigger and hold the frame, write that one down, hold the frame of the vision, even when it's not reflecting in your reality as of yet, because it works on you before it works for you. And so you have to basically be delusional, if you think of it from the way we think of it in normal, like societal programming, and think bigger than what's showing up in your reality right now. And that is the challenge, is being able to manage your expectations and what shows up along the way to the vision you desire. And that's what kept slowing me down. I'd be like, oh, this is what I'm going to be. And I have all this and I feel so good. And then somebody would say no to me on a sales call. And then, like, my frequency drops, right? And then I'm like, nope, nope. And so I get back up, and then something else happens and even more doubt creeps in, right? And so it was just like burr, 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 all the time with the universe energetically. It's like, what does this lady want? One minute she's like all in her power, like, I am the authentic sales coach. And then the next minute she's sitting in doubt, wondering if she's a crazy person for quitting her sales job and pursuing her dream. So where are you doing that? Because if you're not having the energy and embodying the version of you that already has the thing and normalizing what that feels like, no matter what shows up in your outer world, that is your gap. Because it takes time, not only for your reality to be reflected back to you, but you have to stay, like, instead of being in between radio stations, right? Like when you're turning the dial and it's like loud and like there's a lot of static and you're like hearing two songs at the same time, like you have to dial it in to the song you want, not the song you don't want. How often are you doing that? And hold it there. So much so that by the time I had my first 100K launch, it felt normal. And that is it. That is the disconnect. And so when we're working, think about it. Like when we're like, I got it, what is all the things I need to do to make the things happen and all the things, and I got to do all this and I have to do all that and I have to be here. Is that the energy of somebody that's absolutely certain of their success? When you hop on a sales call and it's like, oh my gosh, what do I need to say to make them have the thing that I need? Is that the energy of somebody that's certain of their success? So if you're living and dying by the sword of the moment of what's showing up and the pressure you're putting upon yourself, it's going to blow up in your face. And you're just sitting dialed into both frequencies at the same time. And it's like they cancel each other out. It's the equivalent of what I tell my clients is, meditating and doing your visualizations, or however you get in that state of that next version of you, or the version of you that has the thing, and you're like integrating that identity, right? And then if the first drop of a hat where it's not reflected back to you and you've signed expectations of how it's supposed to show up in your reality, you dip, then it's the equivalent of working out really hard in the morning and then sitting on the couch and eating pizza and drinking beer all day. And so that is what I find is the sticking point. It's not that it's not working. It's that you're so attached and giving so much meaning to what's showing up in your reality that it's keeping you at that lower vibrational state. And so no matter how much visualizing and how much of that, if you can't hold that higher frame in spite of what's showing up, then the universe cannot give you what you do not own internally first, because it's not based on what you want. It's based on the frequency of who you are. And how certain are you? How loving and unattached are you that you can get on a sales call, set the intention of the highest good for all, and then show up full neutrality and help those people make the decision they already desire to make? See, here's the kicker. When you can sit in that energy, you'd be shocked at what you can say to the person. I would never consider myself pushy, but I will challenge somebody all day on their BS because they can feel that my energy is coming from a genuine place. It is truly not about me. It is about them. They're on this call for a reason. They want to make a change. So let's get to it, right? But if you're making it about you and what do I need to say to get them to make the money to get the sale, then you've already lost. And so, I'd encourage you to think about all the different places that you're doing that in your business because, the road to success is paved with failure. So if you're making every one of those steps, doubt, uncertainty, you're dipping your frequency, you're not embodying, then you're just going to continue to get more of that. If you're making it really hard and sitting in overwhelm, you're sitting in not enoughness. So you're just going to get more of that. And so it really is an energetic game in learning how to hold that certainty and that conviction long enough until it's reflected back to you. And being able to manage the people, the situations, and the circumstances that show up along the way. Because if you think about it from that higher vantage point, if the universe is going to present you, Peter Crone says, with people's circumstances and situations to reveal to you where you're not free, then essentially everything that shows up along the way is helping you become the person that you're already embodying, helping you release the old patterns, right? The person that gets the success, that has the big launch or whatever that looks like for you, has a different frequency, different patterns, different belief systems. And so if you're trying to pull that into your now, then you're absolutely going to be bombarded with these are the things you have to let go of in order to fully embody that person. So don't think of it as like, I'm not doing it right. Think of it as I am doing it right. And I now see that that's a pattern in me that doesn't get to stay in order for me to go to the next thing. So sitting with the idea that it's always happening for you. Because if you want to embody that and you're bringing it into the now and the universe goes, well, in order to really be that, here's a few things you might want to ditch, then that's all it is. Right? And so that is the energetic game we are playing now. What used to really elude me in all of this is you have spiritual teachers that are like, just follow your bliss and just keep your frequency high. And it is part of it. But listen, the law of attraction has the word action in it. Like that's the feminine piece of it. The masculine piece of it is then go about taking the intelligent action based on the person that you've embodied that gets the results, right? Are they going to sit and small me about like, how do I respond to this comment? Oh my God. Or are they just going to boldly say what needs to be said with tons of love? Right? And so we're taking action as that future version now. We're thinking as them. We're believing as them. Our expectations are what that person would be. And here's why they're not attached. Because the $1 million version of me doesn't need this sales call. The $1 million version of me doesn't live and die by one comment. The $1 million version of me is looking at my business from the 100th floor instead of like in the lobby, just kick the you know what out of. And so that's what this is. And so if you understand the law of attraction and you understand manifestation and you really understand that that's frequency and vibration, that you have to embody it first. The mirror doesn't smile first. You smile at the mirror and you just got to keep smiling long enough for it to smile back. And while you're smiling, you're taking the action in the frequency of that version of you that already has the result. That is it. So if you're running around in lack or assigning like, I got to make the money to do the thing and you're attaching money to it, that is where you're dropping the ball. So I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if this video resonated. Please subscribe, share, like, follow, all the things, because it really helps other people get a hold of this. I really want to bring you guys a different, just an entirely different way of looking at sales, what this process really is for you, but more importantly for your client, and how to fully embody it in a way that you no longer let it stand in between you and your mission and the people you're here to help. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.